and welcome back to yet another episode of It's Related.
I promise.
I will always have so much jubilation when we have many people.
Jubilation.
Jubilation.
Are you feeling jubilant?
Jubilation.
What did you say to the low accent? Why did you say jubilant? Are you feeling jubilant? Yeah.
Because I love it when there's a lot of people on the podcast, as I always say. IRP is about diversity of perspectives. And if you caught the episode before with these two, you'll know that they are so full of opinions, expressions, and I love that for us. So before we get into the conversation, I'm going to start by introducing myself. My name is Sharon, aka Shazo, and I am a third of It's Related, I promise. And on my right...
Hi, my name is Dushy Korea, and I'm one half of the best friendship that isn't shared.
Damn, girl.
Oh, my name is Dushy Korea. I'm a content creator, businesswoman, and all-around fabulous lady.
True. Facts. Agree.
Thank you.
Hi guys, my name is JT Kapik. I'm a content creator, YouTuber, brand owner, and one half of the best friendship of Dushy.
I love it. You guys need a podcast.
Honestly.
And that is exactly how you'll be doing your intro.
Exactly.
Yes. My name is Jules. I am one third of It's Related, I promise. You can find me on my Instagram at Jules_her. And the Jules is with an S, JULES_her, as in HER, her. But as a Kenyan Jules, ha. I also have a podcast that I produce and run called So This Is Love. So you can also find me over there.
Amazing.
Audio only is not available on YouTube. You can listen to it on Spotify or wherever you find your podcast. Thank you very much.
I love that very much.
There we go. And remember, guys, please subscribe to this channel. It's literally it's free. Just press the button. It actually goes such a long way for us. So please just do that to support our content. And in true IRP fashion, we're going to get into my favorite segment, which is What Caught Your Attention. Have you guys done your homework?
Gently.
We can start with Jason. Tell us, what caught your attention lately?
Okay, so mine is about, speak over here to speak to you guys.
The microphone.
So mine is about entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So I've been watching lots of content on like how people run their businesses, etc. So the other day I lost my cell phone at...
Did you say cell phone?
Yeah. I'm an old soul.
I mean, I'm not going to say jubilation. Let me not judge.
You are jubilant. God. So I lost my cell phone a couple of weeks ago after a very good sherehe. It was home time and somebody decided to relieve me of my belongings. And I was like, it wasn't time.
Yeah.
But it has been such a tumultuous experience because I'm one of those guys who do insurance on absolutely everything. I'll tell everybody, get insurance, health insurance, home insurance. So that experience for me was such a eye-opener because my life halted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like our phones are our business.
Everything, yeah.
So for like 2 days, Dushy was my PA, my best friend, my parent.
Truly.
Because I'm going through, I've lost a phone. And then Dushy is still the same person who has to reach out to everybody business-wise to let them know, like, okay, if you need to reach Jason, you can get him on net. You can,
This is also why you're out of reach.
Yeah, exactly.
I got the text from her.
Yeah,
She said,
exactly.
Nani lost his phone because we were together that night.
Yes.
Jason lost his phone last night. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what? So is he sick?
Yeah.
Like, why are you messaging? Like,
Yeah,
it was
what's going on?
giving,
like,
it was
what's
giving, where are you in Agakan? God
Right.
forbid.
Yeah,
God
yeah,
forbid.
yeah, like something
But
bigger
yeah,
happened.
because I just want to let you know that Jason lost his phone last night.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it was such an eye-opening experience because as an entrepreneur, we rely so much on one steady source of income. Like that we never think about like if social media stops for me today.
I'll become a shopkeeper. It's okay.
I thought about it and I was like, yeah. Like what if those guys go and reformat my phone? What if those guys go and like log into my IG and then decide to log me out? And I kind of then thought about because of how many income streams I have now, fortunately, because the past few years have been very tough, for entrepreneurs. Nobody's giving us money.
No.
Yeah, nobody's throwing money at us. So like last year I went into, with my business partner now, Joy, went into like events. And I was thinking if, I already have that as an income stream.
Yeah.
So if somebody decided to take away JT Kapik today, which is forever going to be my identity,
Right.
I still have other ways to be able to get cash coming into my pocket. And then like always preparing for eventuality, because these things happen. Your phone can fall in the toilet.
Yeah. And
You know,
have to buy a new one.
doesn't grow up.
Why?
Oh God. Yeah. So eventualities always happen when it comes to business. So it's just that preparation for like having things like life insurance. So that's been on my mind like a lot. I've been feeling very grown up-y.
That's adulting.
Yeah.
Peak. You said insurance?
Yeah,
His
yeah.
phone is insured.
Yeah,
I've
it's
never-
my phone, my
yeah.
camera, my legs, my bracelet.
Firm.
It's called an anklet.
People should
Am I
insure their
part- are you-
personalities. That
Yeah,
should
have
be a
you
thing.
insured me?
Copyright.
Yes.
As in
In the blood
surely.
of
Yeah, hallelujah.
What about you, Dushy? What's caught your attention?
So, have you guys heard of Limerence?
That's so ridiculous.
No way.
Because that's the TikToks we're gonna watch in a bit. That's so crazy. Okay,
You
get
know
into
what?
it.
Actually,
Get into it.
should
Get
we?
into it.
Should we wait?
Should we wait? Let's
wait.
wait. Okay, get another one. What?
Honestly,
That's
I'm a
crazy.
witness. Yeah.
You are. How did you just read my mind?
That's
Wait, I'm talking about this. Say the word again.
Limerence.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, I cannot wait to get into
Guys,
this one.
because let me just explain this.
Yes, please.
So the format we're trying out for this episode to our beloved listeners who've been here for a while, we're trying like a segment or a style of a show we're calling Ask the Cast, where we're just going to be sampling TikToks or any interesting topic we've come across on the internet or anywhere that's not long enough to be like a full-on episode, but it's still like engaging and like debatable. So I was going to show the guys 2 videos that they haven't seen and just get their reactions. And one of them is about limerence. I can't even pronounce that word.
Yeah.
So we'll just wait.
Let's dive into that,
wait.
yeah.
We'll come to that because it's a
I haven't
hot
watched
one.
it.
Really?
Usually before we watch, but that's why she was like, Jules accidentally sent you a video, don't watch it.
Yeah, so you can also have like an honest,
honest
reaction.
Yes,
I feel like
exactly.
you'll also really enjoy this
And
topic.
and
you know.
if we get to do this more, I think it should be nice if people don't show, even me and Jules, like if let's say it's you're the one showing us the TikToks, just bring a TikTok that
Yeah.
even as we haven't seen, so that we give an organic response.
So they
Yeah.
said when I bring, because like we're coming back.
Best
I
friend.
mean, cut out the
We
bag.
live here now.
But sorry, do you have another one? Another one caught
Actually,
your
no,
attention?
that was it. But
Okay,
let's have this conversation and we have
We'll-
it. Yeah.
When you have it,
Okay.
then you can tell us what caught your attention.
Yes.
Okay.
What
okay.
about you, Jules?
You mean I write them in my notes because I keep forgetting. Okay, we did that on SMP. Let's mark it as done. Okay, so mine is usually quite random. The other day, which one should I do? Let me do this one. The other day, a friend of mine, actually Magunga, Magunga and me were having a chat, and he said, "By the way, Jules, what do you do for fun?" And I was like, "Yeah, so I, no, actually, so I, but then on weekends and I was like, what? I don't like bake. I don't garden. I don't knit. I don't, And I was like, what I do for fun is I get a duvet. I go to my like I have a list of movies to watch, or like for example this year I do like Oscars 2024, which were the best film nominated in the different categories, and then I go watch
them one by one.
Yeah. So
Oh.
me, I watch movies, I hang out with friends, I party, I go out a lot with my friends. I don't have a hobby. This used to be my hobby.
And now this
Yeah.
is
And now it's work.
Job.
So I it used to be on the weekends I'd be shooting and then editing.
right.
And that's how I taught myself how to edit, etc.
Right.
So and also I used to paint. Back in the day, I even used to sell my artwork, but then I stopped
Yeah, you did.
for my own
Yeah, I
things.
remember that.
So, and it just hit me, what the hell? Like, do grown-ups have hobbies? The biggest thing for me realizing now is that hobbies, I don't know if I'm the only one who, do you guys have hobbies? And so I started to ask myself, do I need hobbies? Other than watching movies and reading books. And by the way, reading books for me is not a hobby. What is it? It's a discipline I've been fostering for a long time. As much as I read books, I have to push myself to read books. And the reason I do it, even though it's not the first thing, what I go for is the telly or my phone when I'm just chilling. I don't like reach for a book. I do it because it's the vocabulary. I want to be able to express myself with very good vocabulary. I have this weird thing where I love books Like I'd buy 10 books. I just want them to be there. Somebody told me it's a thing. I didn't know it was
the
a thing.
smell of it, the
The
feel
smell of it, the feel of it. Like when you walk into textbook center, the corner, that little, you know how they've changed the end? Yeah, and I'm just like, I want a part of my house to look like this. And I know I'll never read all these books. So one, I love books. I like the look and feel and everything. I do love good stories, but I am... like people who speak well and write well, I am intrigued by those people. And I want to be able to express myself like those people. So I read books to improve my diction and my knowledge. And I see the value of reading. But like, it's not something that I love to be like, oh my God, I didn't carry a book for this trip.
Right.
Yeah, I'll grab a magazine, I'll be okay. Yeah. So even as much as I read, it's never been a thing that I'm obsessed with. I enjoy it. Yeah. So
You know,
Hobbies,
a very
hobbies.
important thing you asked.
Yeah.
Do I need hobbies? Actually, when you asked that, I was like, sometimes I feel like we never ask ourselves, do I need it? It's because you've realized that it's a thing, then you're like, maybe I should jump on that. It's like supplements. Like I should jump on it, but do I need it? Like, there's a TikToker, Kenyan TikToker. Hey.
Start again.
but the rhymes in the house.
Maybe that's why I haven't felt dizzy.
There's a tick, 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 tack, tack, tick, tack. There's a TikToker. There's a Kenyan
A
TikToker.
Kenyan TikToker who was asking people and saying, do you have hobbies? What do you do for fun? And I realized, I go to restaurants for fun. That's a thing I enjoy. I enjoy curating. I enjoy tasting different foods. I enjoy the experience of reviewing them just to myself.
Actually, I
having...
agree with you. Yeah, I think so too.
that's a
Because she doesn't
hobby.
post anything.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, she's not posting. It's literally something that she enjoys. She
That
enjoys
brings you
finding good
joy.
food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the journey of it.
Maybe that's a hobby
And, going, and
right
then I
there.
do it with, like, if I recently had a date with a friend who we are curating a friendship, and we went to a new restaurant and we
Did you
tried it
say you're
together for the
curating
first
a
time.
friendship?
Yeah, like we're creating,
Of
curating and
cur-
creating.
Oh, okay.
Like because this is, I feel like at the
It's a
age
grown-up
I'm at,
friend.
it's not just I'm not just when I say I'm having a date with someone, I've been very conscious about it.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm spending time with you. Quality time is my love language. That for me is not, I don't take that lightly. For us to sit in a restaurant for 4 or 5 hours, 2-3 hours, and just converse and open our hearts and
Yeah,
minds to
those
each
are the
other,
best.
that's a curated thing
Yeah.
to me.
Okay.
So doing that in restaurants, in new restaurants, whether we like it or don't like it, what did we enjoy about it, other cocktails, and like that for me is, I go back home feeling like, oh, I've seen the world. So maybe that's my hobby.
I think so. It sounds like a hobby. Like it's just something that brings you joy.
It does.
Yeah.
A lot of joy.
That could be a hobby.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
Do I have a hobby? I like to paint and sip.
And you
That
don't
is the
have to
hobby.
paint. and you
Problem
love
is
to
I
sing.
sip a lot more than I paint. But it's something that I've slowly
Cooking? Is cooking your hobby? Because I mean,
Oh my
I
God,
love
you
your
know what? You're
Osuboko
right.
videos. I'm always like,
Yeah.
okay, what has he done? He's put the Osuboko in there. He's put,
Yeah.
I do love to cook. I love finding new recipes. I love trying new things. So actually, you might be right. Yeah, you might be onto something. I think painting is something that I'm trying to pick up a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even my TikTok now, the algorithm is showing me how to do painting
right.
from learning how different colors work together. But I
Yeah.
think cooking for me has always been
I think that's your
a
hobby,
saving
babes.
grace.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's something
Okay.
that
Cooking for
removed
food.
me.
and you host. I was going to say host.
I love to host.
Hosting.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's a good hobby. Yeah, hosting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you love it.
I
You do a great
love
job
to
at
have people
it.
in my house.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sharon, you're my friend. What's my hobby?
Hanging out with your friends, babe.
It's not a hobby. I need a hobby. Like I want to like I
profession-
used to like knitting, but I still have my knitting needles.
Yeah.
So, but I don't do it.
But
Would you
where does
consider
I feel
art
like all
your
these-
hobby?
I feel like
Art.
all these hobbies.
Art used to be my hobby until art broke my heart. If
Yeah.
you want to call it that. I have a very complicated relationship with painting nowadays. So picking up a paintbrush is tough for me.
Yeah.
And it takes me to a time.
But I feel like
It takes me to a time.
my issue with the way we're looking at hobbies is more like it's like there has to be like an outcome. I feel like hobbies, you just it's the outcome is the feeling. Like how does
Yeah.
it make you feel? That's why for you I was like maybe hanging out with
But
your
that's
friends.
not a hobby, babe.
But so what is a hobby?
For me, a hobby is like traveling, photography, braiding hair, interior design, like something you do out of your the thing you do for sustenance that makes you like it's also like a skill. Like hanging out with friends is not a
Also, it has to be skill based.
to me it has to be like a skill like a
Like golf, if you're
like
a golfer.
golf or like or
Tennis,
gardening or
working out.
Because me, I consider watching.
It's not a hobby, my
I think
dear.
working out is a necessity.
It's not a hobby.
That's a necessity.
What about watching TV? Because I feel like that's my hobby. Like just sitting down
Because
and
if you
just
think about
watching
it,
TV.
Dushy has created a podcast out of watching movies. So maybe it's
That's
the
a
way you
hobby of
curate your list of movies.
Yeah. But you know what, guys, we can go on and on about hobbies.
Yeah.
Allow us to
That was actually a great one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to think about that. It's going to be my
and
Roman
maybe
empire.
we should talk about hobbies. Like what's our hobbies? But anyway, we'll get into that. Oh wait, it's my
I was like, over to you, Sharon. Back in
I wanted to
studio.
go to the TikTok because I want to talk about Limerence. Because
yeah.
what? My mind is blown. But what caught my attention is so I've been on 2 girl dates recently, and it's just something I've never really done before.
Okay.
Because literally like a date, like, you know, these are not necessarily like my close friends. So they are new friends. And I didn't know how else to like interact with them besides a date. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm not going to go chill at like their house because we're not that close yet. But also we're trying to be like friendly. So like it had to be a date. Like I was a bit uncomfortable with terming it a date because I was like, dates are like romantic.
Is it?
That's what I thought. Like, because I've never been on I've hung out with my female friends and like, you know, like Jules and I, we had dinner or whatever. But I've never thought of it as a date or even like a first date.
Okay.
So I went on a first date
I love that.
with 2 different girls.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. Like, I honestly think those are the best dates I've been to, even better than these romantic people out, like the people that I've dated romantically, because it was such edifying conversation. Like, girls just have a way of, I don't know, like girls know how to connect with someone at the beginning. Like, I didn't feel like I was placating or trying to be someone that I'm not. I really loved it. So I'm really trying to go on more girl dates now. Yeah, well, like if I meet someone that I think is interesting,
Let's go out for dinner.
yes, let's go for dinner.
Interesting.
And I'll pick a place or I'll suggest a place. And you know what I loved was that the conversations were so broad, and it felt like they were dating me. Like, so you know, tell me about what you're passionate about. You know, those things that I was like, this happens.
It
like,
really makes you
friends,
introspective. I get that. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
like I do that romantically when I go on dates with
Because you want people to get to, you want your
I want my
prospective partner to
exactly. But with
know
my
me.
female friends, I feel like we get to know those things about each other because we're spending time together. Like,
Yeah.
I know your favorite whatever color,
Yeah,
song,
yeah,
genre of
But
music.
you don't know her hobby. Anyway.
But you don't know what's my favorite color. What's my favorite color?
It's beige.
Don't you look at me.
It's now beige.
I know your
As of
favorite color.
today.
I'm giving you best friend pressure.
I know.
Now
It's not beige. I
collab.
feel like it's changed to beige. No, it's not beige. Green?
No,
It's not green.
no.
You know, I actually don't know.
Blue and all the blues, the turquoises, the teal.
Is it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't really express it fashion-wise, but it's my favorite color. That's why
your sofa.
my sofa is
Your
blue.
sofa,
I
yeah.
love blue glass.
Oh, I see it now. Actually, that you said, I can connect the dots. But yeah, so I went on 2 girl dates,
sounds
and the
fantastic.
outcome, I was just like,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
wow, this is amazing. So yeah, I want to do more of that.
Okay.
Cute.
Interesting.
Delicious.
I like that.
Yeah. Okay. So guys, wow, I've really been waiting for us to get to the TikToks. So we're gonna be just reacting to these videos and just give your honest reactions, and then we'll get into the conversation. But I know Dushy has watched this particular one because we are clearly talking about the same thing.
It's the exact same video.
And
So this is for me and Jason.
this is for you and Jason, exactly.
Give it to us immediately.
Okay, wait.
You can tell how much a woman loves herself based on the partner she chooses. I just saw a viral video where this woman said hearing this statement cured her of her limerence. To which I thought, I don't wholly agree with that statement. And also, what is a limerence? A limerence is an involuntary state of intense romantic desire for another person characterized by intrusive obsessive thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. It involves an acute longing for emotional reciprocation, but has an undertone of suffering that results from unfulfilled needs or uncertainty. Experts believe similar to OCD and addiction, limerence may develop as a result of trauma, insecure attachment, and stressful life events. Dear reader, listener, watcher, limerence is not love. Love is a feeling of attachment and wanting to commit to another person. It's a chemical reaction in the brain and body that makes us want to unite with someone emotionally and physically. Love involves true concern for the well-being and feelings of others, wanting the other to be happy and respecting their wants, feelings, and wishes. Limerence is an unhealthy, obsessional mixture of emotions that can be caused by personality traits and childhood environment. Some of your favorite songs and TV shows may make you believe you're in love when you are really in limerence. Because limerence is often rooted in toxicity and relationship anxiety, the best way to overcome it is to invest in yourself, to work on yourself, to get help and support if you can't do it on your own.
Okay. Hey?
I knew you were
And a
going to.
shout is too much.
yelling.
She needs to chill the
She
fuck
was
out.
yelling.
Chill the
It's like she
fuck
entered my
out.
brain and said,
Lu,
hello.
Lu.
Limerence. Me, I was saying
Limerence.
limuru.
Limerence.
I had you guys saying
That's
Lemura,
how
and I was
it's
like,
spelled. Limerence. That's exactly how it's spelled.
So just to circle back to what you were going to
Actually,
say.
you know what I was going to find?
Or should we
I was
react
going
to the videos
Because I have a
first?
lot.
that-
Because first of all, it's involuntary. So it's not my fault.
It's not your
But yes,
fault.
it's my responsibility. But I'm saying it's not my fault.
I
She
feel
said
like
involuntary.
It's involuntary. And, what was going through your mind? Maybe before we get to yours.
when I first saw that video, my first thought was, this is what you call infatuation on steroids.
That's what I was going to say. It sounds like
Yes,
infatuation.
Yeah,
but
it
like
sounds a bit
10,
obsessive.
yeah.
We had the word infatuation. That was a word I remember that became popular, I think, in our generation.
Yeah.
Right? That you said hearing.
Is it love or
is that
infatuation?
That was a
Yeah.
question that songs came out with that question, right?
100%.
So then now they brought out this new idea of limerence, which is just infatuation on steroids, because it's literally loop to loop. Your brain goes on a holiday, and then you find yourself in a relationship.
delulu.
Then you find yourself in a relationship and you're like,
Yeah.
whoa, what is going on here? Because it feels, that when she said obsessive, that's the thing. Have you ever felt
100%.
it feels like I'm being driven by more than love. To me, when she was reading the dictionary definition of love, it felt very not static,
Stable.
to me. Not stable. It felt too rigid for me.
Okay.
I've always said love is a verb. I don't think love is a doing word, and
I
it's in
agree with
action.
you.
It's in motion.
Yeah.
It's in understanding. It's in safety. It's in there's a lot of that love encompasses. That's not just in the rigid sense of how it's described. But limerence feels like you're being driven by something that is not you.
Yeah.
It's like that thing for, I can't stop thinking about this person. They haven't texted. Oh my God, are they in an accident? I'm going to die. Like you're being driven by, to the point that you sit down,
Preoccupation.
you call yourself for a meeting. Like you're like, what's going on? Kunandaji? In other words, what is happening? What is happening right now? That's what it feels like, infatuation on steroids. And have I been in that situation? That's why I was going to.
Yes, girl.
I've been there.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
same.
then I sit down and ask myself, what just happened?
Yeah.
Like it's over, and then I'm like, what?
It's like you snap out of it.
Like what went on? How did I make this person think that my life was literally going to end if they were not around?
You're shouting.
And then you're like, hiya, okay, do you know who the fuck I am? Like
Yeah.
someone
Where is the line between limerence? What the fuck is this word?
Limerence,
my brain's in
Limerence.
remuneration.
Yeah,
Limerence.
limerence. Where is the line between limerence and, for example, the honeymoon phase? And genuinely falling, because I have been in a relationship where we're obsessed with each other for the first 6 months to a year, whatever. So I'm like, is that limerence or is that? But then the thing is that she said is that there's an undertone of
Suffering.
and that's what I was. And so my question is, with this limerence, that's why I wanted even to read it for myself. Is, so does that mean, so in limerence, because there's a desire for reciprocation. So does that mean, because you see, you can be into somebody who is not into you. Does that mean you're in limerence, or you just met somebody who doesn't feel you?
Yeah. True.
a crush is also not limerence.
That's what I was going to say. Could it be a crush? Because you can have a crush on someone and you can't stop thinking about them because you're like into them.
Giddy.
Giddy. So where is the line between those things? Limerence and
crush,
and
or-
a
Honestly, my
crush,
brain
or
is still
honeymoon,
trying to
honeymoon,
or
internalize
even
this.
let's say limerence and infatuation.
Or
Or
honeymoon
honeymoon
Because
phase.
let's be clear. Even when you're in a loving relationship with somebody, you are infatuated with them
Oh yeah.
before.
That's
before.
that's how it starts.
And by the time you really get to know this person, whether you like it or not, it's probably like a year and a half in, and you're like, oh, so this is how you move, this is how you talk,
really
this
are.
is why you are the way you are.
Right.
So does that mean I was in limerence, or was I in honeymoon, or was I in?
And that's such a good question, Jules. The thing for me which stood out is the way she's talking about that thing. For you're coming from a place of suffering, which is what now makes limerence sound so much more problematic.
Yes.
Because it's like there's an internal issue that you have that if you love yourself more, then at least you're cured a little bit of that limerence.
Yeah.
And I feel like for me, it came from a place where I was so lonely I just wanted anyone. So I was infatuated by the thought of just not being alone and having said person X. So that's why for me I was like, yeah, it comes from a place of like suffering. Like you're not, if you are not
I think
that
that
lonely,
that suffering thing is literally the one that
changes
has,
the
from
thing.
honeymoon. Babe, you see, there's an infatuation that comes in when you're with someone and the two of you are going towards a certain
Together.
direction.
Yeah, you're not. It's not
Yeah.
from a place
So
of
maybe,
suffering.
so
Yeah.
my understanding then is that limerence is you're into this person, they might also be into you, but there is an undertone of suffering, meaning it's a
Yeah.
toxic relationship.
Yeah.
But more from, I feel
you
like
ever-
it's from
yeah.
you. Like it's not, you know how you asked earlier.
No, because I feel like the other person has to have a part to play either by being there or not being there.
Yes, so I think-
because I was not getting, is it just you like somebody who doesn't like you, but you're insisting?
So I think even if the person, or from how I understand it, even if the person likes you, but you just like them in a way that's like, it's too, like if this person, let's say,
Have you
breaks
ever
up
have
with
you ever made this statement? Because I have in
Yeah,
this life.
I'm sure I have.
Future Jason, when you're watching this, remember this statement that you once made. I'm okay being number two. By the way, imagine this is
That
something
is
that I've never
limerence.
like. I'm fine being here.
That's
And
it.
You've seen me say that.
Yeah.
I've
That's
said
exactly.
That's limerence.
I have
Babe,
said
that's
those
it. You're willing
words.
to be a very.
I'm okay if he doesn't. I'm okay if he doesn't like to hang out that much. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm okay if he doesn't like to text me. I'm okay if she doesn't like to.
It's okay that he called
touch
me.
in public and wants to seem like.
It's okay
Yeah.
you
You
said
start
I'm ugly.
excusing
It's okay
things,
that, you know.
And even that when you were talking earlier about
Wait, I have. I was gonna say I've never had. Oh my god! I was like, I don't relate to
We all
Jason.
have, we all
I relate
have.
to Jason.
Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
shit! That was 3 years of my life.
Yeah.
and you can and the thing
Oh my
is the
God.
toxicity.
Oh
Mine
my
was
God.
too.
The toxicity
Yeah.
can be two ways.
Yeah.
What
Holy
you were-
mother
when you were
fuck.
saying that the toxicity
Sorry,
can be
who
from
even says holy motherfucker? I'm sorry, holy fuck, holy
Yeah.
Jesus.
no, sorry. Hey,
to have way.
start again.
Yeah.
So it can be the toxicity inside you is also being exacerbated by this person.
Exactly.
So if I like when she said anxious attachment style or OCD, that person exacerbates that thing about you to the point that it starts consuming you. If you're an anxious person and being around this person makes you hyper anxious,
anxious.
but you don't want to let it go.
Exactly.
Like
It's-
delicious.
It feels
when
good.
the- That's the thing
Yeah.
when you hit your elbow,
Your
you
funny
hit your
bone.
knee somewhere,
Yeah.
and it's a pain, but it's delicious. And you're stuck there for so long, and then you're like,
Shouts.
you start making excuses that are so delulu that you shock yourself later on. You when you sit back and then you look at yourself, like from outside yourself, when it finally hits you, you're in such shock. I'm like, I remember when I watched that video, and you know who it is for me. I sat down and I
I'm
said,
shaking in my boots.
shaking in my goddamn boots. How? Because my entire life felt like this person is everything, but it was everything about it was coming from a place of toxicity
That's the part.
within me.
Yeah.
And it's not that the entire relationship was toxic. There were beautiful parts, but it was a bad relationship with beautiful moments.
Wow.
But that's
Not
what a
good
bad relationship is. But that's what a bad relationship is.
But you see, not all. Some bad relationships are just bad. And
no,
you can't.
babe. The reason people stay is because there's that one thing that they hold on to, and then
The life raft.
Yes,
Aye,
yes.
let me tell
life
you,
raft.
those,
They're
those
like-
good moments are usually
life raft.
so
That's why it's toxic.
few.
The reason something is toxic is not because it's purely bad. The reason something is toxic is because this person will come and beat the shit out of you and then love bomb you the next day and then parade you as the love of their life to all their friends
Yeah.
and then even pay for your mother's hospital bill and then come and beat the shit out of you again and then bring for you an STI and then say it can't be me because I have not done this shit and then you start thinking maybe it's me, it's all in my head and it's toxic because it's a mixture of good and bad. I know. I don't think there's any bad relationship that exists without
Any
some
good,
good.
yeah.
There's a reason why
You're there.
you're
Or you
there.
keep- yes.
But I want to say something about limerence because I think that
You're right, mate. You're right.
yeah. I feel like this is not a new concept. Now that we are talking about it more, because this is just tied to childhood trauma and also a little bit on attachment styles. I believe you would be more on the limerence end of things if you are an avoidant and or anxious, preoccupied a person, because the reason you are that way is because of that thing in your childhood that made you develop this attachment style.
Right.
Yeah. So the word involuntary, I think, needs to be really
put it in
put it
italics
out
and
there,
bold.
like it's not your fault, hun, that you are here. And by not your
fair
fault,
enough.
what I'm trying to say is you have developed these ideologies around love and connection based on a deficiency from your childhood 0 to 7.
You're trying to fill a need.
Hate
and
nothing.
avoid, yeah.
No, you are recreating. You
Oh,
are
yeah,
recreating
patterns.
the familiarity
Right.
from your
because
childhood.
it's comfortable.
Because the way the brain is designed is when you're driving somewhere and it's a new place you've never been, you're alert. Because you're like, oh, I've never seen this tree before. I don't know how to turn here. Let me follow the map. Da, 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 da. And your brain is on fight or flight, fight, flight.
Yeah.
Fight or flight. Fight or flight.
Flight or
What is it?
Flight or
Fight or flight.
It's not flight or fright.
flight or fight.
It's
Or
not
freeze.
fright or flight. Whatever.
Everyone
Yeah.
is fighting, flying, and flying.
Fight or flight. Fight or flight.
Fighting.
Or flighting. So your brain is in fight or flight. But and your brain is telling you error, aware, uncomfortable, you can't be here long. And when your brain is, and when you're in something that is familiar. Your brain is like subconsciously, and our decisions are like 99% are subconscious. Meaning you have no control over them. You don't know when they are being made. It's usually after the fact. Why do I do that? Why am I like this? Subconscious. So you're in your flight. When you're not in when you see something familiar. So if you've grown up, let's say, maybe not even necessarily a toxic household. Let's say maybe your mother was maybe highly critical, or maybe your father was an absentee emotionally as a father. You develop an anxious, preoccupied, or maybe whatever the case. Right. Maybe there was a lot of conflict, or maybe everyone was there but no one was paying you attention. Right. You can develop
Also
another
that.
anxious.
Yes.
There's so many ways you can develop your different attachment styles, right? So what happens when you meet this person who is not good for you? The alarm bells are not going off because it is familiar. And your brain is not saying fight or flight because it is familiar. And you keep wondering, why do I keep dating the same kind of person? Even if it feels like it's getting better over the years, it's the same base. When you meet somebody who is good for you,
You're like, I don't know what this is.
your brain is like, there's no chemistry, there's no connection, this is a friend, because it is not familiar.
Right.
It's a very, very fucked up design flaw.
I'm shaking.
Do you understand?
You're right, man.
I totally understand, because this is a situation that has happened to me of recent times. to avoid spilling too much tea. Yeah.
Like we've been having
But
even
the
conversations.
unfamiliarity of a healthy relationship makes the brain, even according to the way my therapist and I had to go through that conversation, where she asked me a simple question.
Yeah.
Why is it that you feel that you don't deserve this love that you're getting?
Deserve.
No, I wanted to shut down my laptop because I was just like, actually, I pay you not to speak to me like this.
Exactly. You're fired.
And she now, we broke down a past relationship I had that I had not realized that I had not dealt with, that had given me all these barriers in my head. The way my mind thought about the way I should converse, the way you should claim me even. You know, because the way I had seen relationships is, me and Kosa being number two, I'm okay being number two. You know, I'm in that sense, I don't have to be the one you come to when you have problems. I don't have to be the one when you have like things that you need to share. Like, I'm okay just being in the background. And when I need that love, I can be able to call on to you, and then you can come. But you see, there's such a I'm giving you my all, but you're giving me just half. And that for me was the most comfortable place that I had ever been in. And it had gone on for so many times.
I'm so triggered, guys.
Yeah.
I feel like we need a therapy. Honestly, we need a
This is a conversation I had just the other day with my therapist.
It blew my mind. Like,
Same.
and so like after having that conversation that you had with your therapist,
Yeah.
and I remember after he told me that, and he told me this is what we discussed in therapy, and I was having my own aha moments, and I remember I sat down and I went like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness. So now I'm trying to tell myself that I also don't want to be reactionary of that coming out of Limerence.
Now, because correcting
Because
too much.
I could correct to the other
You go
end
to
of the
the
spectrum.
exactly.
Like now, because I'm so now I want to be detached.
Yeah.
I want to be completely detached, and I don't want, and I want to claim my independence. And no.
Boundaries.
Now it becomes too much to the point that I'm choking myself with boundaries, and I'm not allowing myself to
Choking yourself
love.
with boundaries.
Yeah.
And I'm having to catch myself in so many aha moments of telling Jason, okay, so should I call?
Yeah.
'Cause he's becoming like
Yeah.
a bouncing.
Yeah.
I'm bouncing a lot because I'm finding myself, I had made myself hyper independent.
That's our favorite thing to do. Yeah. Hyper
And I didn't
independence is
realize
like
that's what I was doing.
a safe
I was
space.
reacting to the fact that
You were
I
trying to
realized.
protect yourself.
But now I'm a creature of love. I want to
Yeah.
love. I keep on saying on my tombstone, I want it to be written, I loved and I was loved. And someone told me the other day,
I want to
and
copy
please
paste
write,
that.
and someone told me write also, and you are beloved.
Hey.
And I said,
I love that, but it's true.
I love
Yeah,
it.
that's
I
actually
live,
true.
I
Yeah.
live by it. I keep on saying love is a very big
Oh my
part
God,
of my
Dushy, where have you
living.
been all my life? First of all, sorry, I'm really going to enter your best friendship. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Out of our
I'm
Kwanzaa, you will
sorry.
not be the first one.
But you remember the other day when I asked
let me tell you,
when I
welcome.
asked you about Dushy, I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, girl, who's this? I mean,
Yeah.
you've been in the shadows. Anyway, I love you.
I can promise you, I don't
You are
get
loved, you are
keep.
beloved.
I don't
And
get
you are
keep
loved.
Dushy's friendship. I think this is one of the most beautiful human beings
Ever.
inside and
I
outside.
agree. It
Yeah.
just radiates. You're
Yeah.
you're
Oh my
stunning.
God.
Yeah.
Guys, welcome to my
Stunning.
podcast.
Yeah. You're so fucking awesome.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
And I
As
hope you are
was.
loved.
I
Yeah.
am.
And we
Honestly.
will. You
And
are.
I love.
Oh God.
And
you
I
are
love.
beloved.
And I am beloved.
Yeah.
Oh, and
God
the person who
damn
told me
it.
that, baby.
Unajichua, you know yourself.
Unajichua in yourself.
Oh my gosh.
Guys,
So, yeah.
I love your personality.
We are
I
moving
saw
on to-
everything about
We're
you.
moving on to the second TikTok.
Okay,
Oh, we
sorry.
haven't finished talking about luminance?
Can we finish?
Limerence.
Limuru.
I said
In
luminance.
other words,
When you're in
when you're in
Limuru,
Limuru, what do you feel?
but I feel like, to be very honest, I think self-love is the
Cure.
beginning of everything
Babe,
when it
that's
comes
it.
to it.
Absolutely.
Allowing yourself to enjoy being yourself. I'd gotten to a place where I told myself that, oh, I'm just loving me now. Oh, but then I'd not allowed myself to be loved by others. So I have 5 best friends, and my mind says, that's enough. But then there's people, humans, beautiful humans with great hearts who are just like, actually, I feel like this space that you have over here, I'd like to occupy that, and I'd love to give you that love. Accepting that for yourself is one of the most difficult things, because all you've known is that self-deprecating behavior that comes from all these people who don't care about your inner child.
Yeah.
They don't give you time to love yourself. So, I mean, I feel like I'm at that place where I'm learning that self-love is the one that allows me to also know that I can be loved.
And also, best friend, if I can say
Yeah.
something, self-love is also sometimes breaking yourself apart to put yourself
You
back
have
together.
to. Yeah.
That's
Self-love
even the
doesn't
homework.
mean
Yeah.
doesn't mean
It doesn't come in a pretty package.
No, it's
It does
not cute.
Sometimes
Self-work
it's so,
is fucking
Yeah.
painful.
it's so ugly sometimes, to the point that
It's
you're
really
like, I don't.
difficult.
This
Because
doesn't
you-
look like what I
Yeah.
I wanted
I see
face
on-
masks.
Yeah.
And I wanted
Exactly.
pedicure.
Yeah.
What is this? Why am I snot crying?
Yeah.
Feeling like I'm losing I can't breathe. Why does
Yeah.
it feel like that?
Yeah.
Because breaking yourself apart to put yourself together feels like it's excruciating. But man, the freedom that comes with it.
Yeah,
after.
the after is always so
Thereafter.
beautiful.
Ooh, it
Yeah.
feels delicious.
Yeah. I think usually for me, in terms of this limerence conversation, the work is really in mine was not about knowing if I'm worthy of that kind of love.
Yeah.
I think I always knew I was worthy.
Yeah.
But the issue was feeling like this is the good kind of love and not being like, I don't like it. Like accepting that this is what love is, not what that was.
Yeah.
Because the healthy love didn't have the drama. I
It didn't have the
hate to call it
fireworks.
drama.
Yeah.
But what I used to say is I was so used, I didn't know I was doing it because I was also, I had a lot of that thing where you talk yourself out of it. Is it called what? Self-doubt? No. I'll get the adjective. But where the self-awareness about it was very low, in the sense where I did not believe that I was the kind of woman who wanted to change a man. Because I was like, no, I'll love you as you are. Da, 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 da. But the truth is, I always used to be attracted to people who had some darkness and brokenness in them. And I thought it was my role. And again, I never believed this when I used to read it in books. And I was like, I'm not that kind of girl. I love
That
you as
could
you are.
never
But
be
I
me,
wanted to
yeah.
be the one to bring the sunshine. I wanted you to almost discover me, even though I'm in front of you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Instead of it being where we are
Finding each other.
we are finding each other
Yeah.
and we love each other. Like I would never go for the happy go lucky because I'd be like,
What am I bringing here?
Yeah. For me, I you know the moody person in the corner. Yes.
You know the Graham.
Yes, the
Graham
moody,
Marshall
the
said
moody
that,
person
yeah.
in the corner,
The broody person.
the broody with a little bit of a chip on the shoulder. That's the one I wanted to break. That's the one I wanted to break. I wanted to be like me. I want to be the one who gets you. Who? That's not my job. Now, when somebody comes to you when they are not doing that, it's hard to love somebody like that if that's not the kind of love that you're used to. That's not what I thought. So to come out on the other side and receive good love, that's where for me the work was.
Yeah.
In the sense of, oh, this is it. It's calm, it's peaceful, it's reassuring. And then that is where your rebirth happens. Because you're like, oh, in this space I can be myself. I don't have to adjust. I don't have to be, let me reduce myself so that my personality does not make you feel whatever.
Yeah.
I felt that in my soul.
Yes. There's an empowerment that comes with good love. And that is not something that I ever thought that was a need in a relationship. For me, my job was to come in there, suck your dick good, cook you food,
Bring some
make
sunshine.
you laugh, bring a lot of sunshine,
Yeah.
and I fix. And I tell you, babe, this is how communication works in relationships.
Yeah.
This is how da. This is how, because I've read all the books and the literature. You understand?
I
But if
understand
somebody
you.
comes to me already together,
Then they're telling you, no, honey,
no,
this is how we communicate.
those ones became my
You're
friends.
like, now
they
are you-
became my friends. We'd start the podcast together.
Una shout.
Because there was no chemistry.
And also
I
that's-
was not feeling the tingle in my jingles.
That's that thing that you said. The love is the love is the being. Do you know how important it is to be in a love situation and be loved just for being? You know, Gus was the first person to ever tell me, why do you feel like being you? Someone loving you requires you to do anything.
Yeah, like
and I
it's
remember
not
when he
it's
said that, I
not
was like,
enough.
why would you say that? He told me, no, because you don't know how to love by just being. I don't know how to love by existing. I don't know how to be loved by like that.
Jeez.
I just exist and someone loves me. To me, I have to
Put some work in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why I need to
Be
sweetie,
performative.
Yeah, so can I
Cook
be
for
great
you?
to your sisters and your brothers and your
that's-
mom and
that's
your
me.
dad? Can I
That's
come to
me.
your house and I buy pillows and make your house a home?
God!
Can I? Oh my God!
Stop,
Can
Dushy.
I
Who
be the
sent
one?
you here?
Oh, can I be the one to
Review
help you-
yourself.
help you shop for cutlery for your kitchen and help you out to make? Let me make you
Wow.
salmon for the first time if you haven't had it in the home, baby.
That is so
let me
specific.
bring richness and beauty into your life. Goose was the first
They
person
tell
to
you
ever
everything
ask
inside
me.
me is just like,
Musa
upset.
asked me for the first time. One of my best friends asked me, "Why don't you know how to love by just being? Because you are lovable. Dushy, just the way
You
you are."
really
And I
are,
remember he shook
though.
me to the core. I didn't know. I remember we sat and I told you, let's just sit in silence for a
Yeah.
minute. What does that mean?
because you need to internalize
I
it.
don't have to
Yeah.
do anything. I'll
Yeah.
just show up. That's so uncomfortable.
Yes, I'm
but
telling
there's,
you it is.
there's such beauty.
Once you
in-
get to the other side of it, and now, I'm sorry, I know Sharon, you want us to go
No,
to the
in
next
fact, I've
TikTok.
decided
Yeah.
because we were overambitious. We can't do another TikTok. But what we'll
How
do,
many minutes have we gone?
we have like 20 minutes left.
Kwani left. Kwani nowadays we have time caps.
48. We've got 48.
We've done 48 minutes.
Yeah. No, what we'll do, okay,
We'll bring them again for the next one.
for the next one, but I want us to flip it as we finish.
I hadn't finished. I had a point.
Okay,
I even
as you
forgot
do,
my
as you do. Have you forgotten your point? She was talking about Musa telling her.
that you just exist, just be
Being-
the being thing. And you had when you were talking, you said that thing for all I have to do is just be. I don't have to jump through hoops. I don't have to. And I'd only known that love from
don't have
friends.
to buy things.
I didn't
Yeah,
know that
not
in a
romantically.
romantic sense that someone can just love me just the way I show up. And I still find myself doing it.
It's true.
Oh, I
doing
remember what I was
things,
going to say.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is, you know what is crazy is now when like you get onto the other side of it. I've had so many experiences where I see the kind of person that I used to be attracted to. Yes, you'll still recognize them, Dushy. You will see and you're like, oh shit, like I get it. And I found myself once or
That is
twice
so true.
almost like, hi, you know, and I'm like, wait, please, we have done too much work. Because that thing is still there. That thing is still there. And you have to like literally fuck it out of your system.
Yeah.
And there's such beauty in because now you're no longer doing the theatrics of see me, I'll come, I can meet your auntie, I can do this, I'm the person who's bringing all this joy into your life. And then now when this person is in your life and you're observing and you're like, oh my God, there is no way Julia today can
Deal with this
can deal
shit.
with this
Yeah.
shit. But Julia 10 years ago could absolutely
First of all,
do
this
that
was
shit.
this was
you were there
exciting.
doing
I'm
it.
tap dancing on this.
It's crazy because even now, even after you heal, you'll find yourself in rooms, and maybe it's not somebody even romantically inclined to, but you're like, it's like your body's doing something, and you're like, who are you?
Yeah.
Hi, no, sorry, ouch, this one.
It's like I
said
hate you,
sorry
but
to the
Illuminati,
Fucking illuminated me. But you will get into a space where you're in somebody walks into your life and they might even be trying to holler at you or give you the wink, and you're like, there's a reason you're attracted to me and I'm attracted to you because
That's
Our sparks are
we attract each other with those toxic
from
people.
across the room.
Yes,
we can
I
feel
can
the sparks.
sniff you a mile away.
Our
Yeah.
sparks are flying
I can
across
walk
the
into a
room.
room, say hello to people, and I'll be like,
Yeah,
that was my type.
yeah.
And then now
Okay.
later, after we've spoken, people have talked, and you've said a few things. I get for me, that's the biggest present to myself. Like, see how
Yeah,
that has
well
grossed you out.
done.
Whereas before, you are
I want
moth
to
to a
fix you.
flame, 150%.
Abu, let me ask you guys: have you, like, if we flip the script, have you been the causer of limerence?
You've been to Lumuru town.
Have you been
Actually,
the cause of
yes.
limerence in
Actually,
another somebody's life?
Do you know what? When earlier on when we were discussing it, I remember thinking I won't have an answer to this, and it's just hit me. I even know who it is.
You are
Because
someone's
Do you know what?
Girl.
I remember years later we met and we were talking, and I could tell I could do this if I wanted to. And I had a moment where I had to catch myself. I had to actually. We were outside the club and we were talking, and I was asking all these questions and I was engaging, and I thought to myself,
And you're in the position of power.
and I thought, this is so I remember having to like reel myself back in. I remember telling him, I think I'm gonna go back inside and don't even follow me. But it was good to see you. Please don't follow me back. Because I know the power I have here. And I know how to play this game. And I can keep you here just for the fun of it. And I know that I don't want you. Oh my God. I feel that came from deep inside the underbelly of my soul. And I remember having to consciously tell myself I don't want to be this person, because it was that relationship that led me to the relationship where I was in limerence.
Same, because I think that's what sometimes tends to happen. Like
Yeah.
you come from a place where
Oh my God, that's actually true.
you
That
are not
karma
in
is
power.
almost immediate.
Exactly.
For the
So
longest
that-
time, I thought I was God punishing me. At some point, I thought maybe God was punishing me for what I put this person through.
Oh, it came before.
Yeah.
Before.
I had this whole like religious thing where I was like, oh my God, maybe I'm being punished
It's
for
your
what I put this
karma.
person. It's my karma.
Yeah.
And I had to talk myself out of that negative self-talk that the universe is just out here conspiring to
be
punish
against
me
you.
because I'm a learning, growing human being. I'm just a girl. I just arrived. And so I know. And I you can still the way that one works for me is that I know that I'm the one in power.
Yeah. Like
I
you can
know.
identify someone is in limerence.
Yes.
I think you know your triggers. Okay, so personally, I actually have.
Okay.
I remember I was.
How did you know they were in limerence and you were like,
You see that thing that she's doing like this? Yeah. I knew exactly
yeah, they were wrapped around your finger.
how their mind worked, and I knew exactly what to say. I knew exactly what to do to be able to get something.
Yep.
And it was so shocking because I had come from being the Lumerera. Lumereri. I was a resident of Limuru. And I remember being not having healed before I met this person right after. And then I was just like, and then to be honest, at that point I was in my highest whole phase of life.
There's a correlation between limerence.
Yeah.
When you're the one in the
But
whatever
then
and whole
my
phase.
whole phase and my need for a relationship came together at the same time.
Ooh-wee.
But then I wasn't ready to let go of what? My whole phase. Yeah. My inner whole was like, this ain't a phase, it's a lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
And I was just like, okay. So I remember by the time we were breaking it off, it was messy and it was uncomfortable. And that really made me feel like a terrible person.
Yeah.
Because I remember now, by the time now, out of everything I've dealt with in therapy, that was one of the last ones I dealt with. And it was so weird because just before that, that's when I met someone good. I said it here first.
That's a good person.
Yeah. You know, before I had to deal with everything. And you know, the funny thing is, My therapist she stays making me write letters. Like, she's the worst.
Oh my God, mine too.
She made me write
It's giving
this
poster.
letter,
Like,
and
why
she
we
was
always writing letters over here? Like, dude,
it's giving poster.
writing letters for
She
days.
made me write this letter
God.
stating what my faults were in that particular relationship and what I had done wrong and what I felt that could have been better, and also apologizing for everything. Do you know what happened? That weekend, when I had finished writing that silly-ass letter, we met in the club. The first thing that came out of my mind, I'm so sorry, I just wanted to apologize. I was talking to my therapist, and I was like, but this is not a conversation that we need to have here.
Yeah.
But this is literally what I have to say, and I'm really sorry about everything.
Yeah.
And I remember they looked at me and they were just like, hey, I've waited for like 3 years to hear that statement.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sometimes you can be the president of Limuru, and sometimes
You're the resident.
you're the resident.
Yeah, you're the president of the resident.
It is what it is. But yeah, that acknowledgement and being able to say sorry also, I feel like my karma kind of did okay.
Just like, you're
Yeah,
safe.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you give yourself permission then to be happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Proud of you, baby.
Jules, have
Thanks, best
you caused
friend.
limerence in someone's
I
life?
think so. Maybe somebody come in the comment
Yeah,
section.
like,
They're
it was
"Please,
limerence
someone tell you something about
in
this
the year
babe."
2021.
Yeah, I don't remember. I
You'll
mean,
have a
I do have individuals who I could tell were into me more than I was into them, or maybe at the time when I said, yeah, this physical only, because I've had like arrangements with people where it's just like we're just hooking up.
Yeah.
I just want to have some company, and I remember the last time that happened. This person was upset when I met someone. So I don't know. I don't think that was Lumina. I don't think it was that.
You were the president of
Limerence.
You were the president.
You're the president.
Limuru
Yeah.
town.
You were the president.
I don't think it is. I think
You
it's just
are the
I think it's
president.
just one of those we had different priorities, and they caught feelings. And
Those
I
things, somebody
didn't.
will always catch a feeling.
Is someone
Yeah,
does,
I know,
yeah.
I know. And
Yeah.
I told it
And
used
it's
to be
never
me,
the
by the
president.
way.
It's never
So
the
at that point, actually,
Yeah.
you were the president.
No, but I didn't think I was the president. I thought we were both in it. Anyway, I'm not sure I have caused that level of suffering. I'm not sure. Like nothing is jumping.
Right.
There's no one who I'm
Yeah.
always like, oh, here they come. Hi.
Yeah.
But there are people who have crushes on me, who maybe are into me, but I've never gotten into a space in somebody's life where I know I'm not able to meet their emotional needs, and I'm still
Yeah.
hanging around. It's hard.
I think the way she was describing that idea of limerence, like this person is, their affection and love for you, the toxicity is fueled by a place of suffering. I think I've definitely been in the president's seat of that situation where I could tell for this person, like outside of me and our relationship, there's like nothing else going on.
Right.
Like they are,
Right.
you are the center of their world, and it's so nice to bask in that sometimes, like at the beginning. Then later, when obviously you both need to have your own independence, you start to realize that this person does not want you to have your independence because they're in Limuru with you.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Actually, they're waiting for your command.
like why are you going to Nairobi? Stay in
Right, yeah,
Limuru.
stay in
Yeah, you
Limuru.
gotta
Nairobi
stay
is
here.
far.
Right.
Can I come with you to Limuru?
Yeah.
Or to Nairobi. But like I think sometimes when you're the one causing limerence, but it's because someone hasn't dealt with their self-love and self-worth, which me, I've been in that. I have been the resident of Limuru
Right.
before, so I can tell. And I think I just feel like at a certain age we should definitely do more to pour that self-love into ourselves so that
Yeah.
we just avoid
Absolutely.
being in Limuru,
Yeah.
being in limerence. Like it's at our big age, like we should probably do more work around avoiding those situations,
Yeah.
because this conversation has been so triggering.
Yeah, nee.
Like some of the things you've
I
talked
think
about,
it
I'm
goes
like,
back to
"Ooh."
that conversation we had in the last podcast, when you were saying you cannot blame your
Yeah.
poor background
Until a
on your
certain
current
point.
situation.
Right.
I think that becomes it, because you're like, okay, so I come from a broken home. So you know how many people actually do. But then guys are going to therapy, guys are
Yeah,
journaling,
yeah.
guys are trying to heal.
Exactly.
Here you come with your issues, at the ripe young age of 39, you know,
Right.
like what are we doing here? And you've not, you know, so I think,
and also that
yeah, I
hurt
agree.
people,
Hurt people.
Hurt people,
broken
yeah.
people, break people. Like honestly,
the work.
you have
Yeah.
to you have to do that. That's why I love that you're talking about like going to therapy and genuinely even going to that person and being like, I really apologize.
Yeah.
Because you're taking accountability for the role you played
Yeah.
in the illumination.
In the
Yeah.
illumination, the limerence.
This word today.
Yeah, because I feel like now where I'm at in life, I could much easier be the resident than the president
Of,
of
Limuru
Limuru.
City.
first of all, you've left.
yeah,
in Nairobi, girl.
It's like now I know
girl.
if I saw someone who was lacking and I would be in a position of power, I wouldn't do that to a person.
Oh, okay,
I'd
I
be
get what
so
you're
aware of
saying.
it that I would
Right. Take a back
distance
seat.
us away from a romantic relationship where it's about power. I don't want it. I don't want the love to feel like. I don't want it to be about power.
It's not even
more than
love, best
about love.
friend.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
right?
not love.
Or the emotions or the energies.
thing.
But I know I still have a propensity right now to still be a resident. I have to be more aware.
Okay.
Right.
I need to
Yeah,
be
I
more
got
aware.
you.
That
I
it's
got you
easier for
forever.
me to just find myself in a situation where I'm like, oh dear. Then just I'm just like, best friend, it's happening.
Yeah, I'm on my way to your house immediately.
Before I move.
Yeah.
I have some final thoughts to say on this conversation. There's something that lady said about the films we watched and the music that we listen to that are preaching limerence instead of love. I look forward to a time where we have examples in the media on what actual love is. The day to day, not just, the movie has ended when the guy proposed. That's literally 1% of the 100% of a relationship. And at the end of the day, if you think about it even as an adult in your own house, how many times do you keep on saying, or you find yourself referencing how mom used to cook this, so you're gonna cook it like this, or how you place your brooms in the house, or how many times, or if you wash your bathtub, it's all reference to what you saw and your blueprint. And not only like 0 to 7, but even as a teenager, especially when you're forming those ideas of romance and love,
Early
the
on,
books we are reading, the TV shows we are watching. So you imagine that intensity, like when we are watching a film.
Oh, butterflies, what?
Yeah, that is what you're like, oh my God, it was just like the movies. It shouldn't be just like the movies. So then what should it be like?
Yeah.
So that when it comes into your life, you can see it, you can identify it, and you can nurture it.
Yeah.
Not going to look for that high that you used to see.
That's so true.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Whew, guys.
Wow.
Do you see? You can't even react to one TikTok and it just
It's
like
not possible.
the whole
believe there
format
was
is
more.
mixed. Thank you,
What?
guys. Thank you. We
Yeah.
couldn't
Thank
do the
you.
TikTok.
Thank
I was being
you.
sarcastic,
Oh,
but
that was-
thank you. Yeah, but honestly, like I love. This is exactly what we were hoping for when we thought about this segment, where it's like, let's just get honest, genuine conversation. We are not experts on limerence.
We're
You can't even
residents
see
and
the word.
presidents.
You can't even see the word. Neither are we experts on anything. It's just about sharing our real life experiences and stories. And we'd love to know from you guys, have you been the president or the resident of Limuru, aka Limerence? We're so curious. Please leave your stories in the comments or send us voice notes. We're still doing that because I'd love to know, have you been in the driving seat of Limerence or have you been in the passenger seat? It's been so lovely having you guys.
Where can they send the voice notes?
Or you can send them on Spotify. So if you go on Spotify and you follow It's Related, I Promise, there's a function that says add voice note, I believe. So just follow the steps and then send the voice note. It comes directly to us. And if your story is interesting enough, we might actually plug it into the next episode. So guys, thank you so much for coming. We have to do this other TikTok. Clearly.
You know what?
We'll come back for sure.
Yes, come back and
We're
talk
ready.
about it.
We are
TikTok.
loving
If you
this.
guys want them back to react to the other TikTok, drop it in the comments, let us know. And if you find interesting TikToks as well or any other content and topics that you want us to react to, please send them through as well. I feel like I've given you guys so much homework, so I'm going to shut up and say this has been It's Related.
I promise.